What's up, friends? This is Manni and welcome to a special F7 build, the only one in starcitizen that can carry 4 times size 4 and 2 size 3s, which typically and normally you cannot fit on the F7. And we're running the most ridiculous ballistics build you can imagine with 3700 ballistic DPS. Also narrowed down to have almost the same pip. This is actually a functioning build. And the only reason this works is because of the TMSB5 Heartseeker kit that allows you to install 2 bespoke size 4 ballistic gatlings onto the roof. It's this kit right here. Later I'll speak a little more about it. With the following build, this is how I built the F7 here. Also, weapons, we are using the ballistic shredder repeater for the size 3s on the nose. On the wings we have the size 4 revenant ballistic gatlings, and like I said, on top those bespoke ballistic gatlings on the Heartseeker turret. And that altogether makes 4 size 4 and 2 size 3s, which again is a very unusual build. And you come out at about 3700 complete ballistic DPS with this exact build here, which is absolutely ridiculous. By the way, also a custom skin, my Valentine here, on that Heartseeker kit as well in red and white. It looks pretty good. We're gonna go into battle now against orange level contracts and some yellow ones, but let me first show you how ridiculous it looks when you fire those 6 ballistic gatlings. Just look at that, dude. That is insane. In a moment I'll mention the build, also some variants on it, using attritions on top of it. But let me show you something really stupid about these orange level contracts. We're beginning the battle right now. I have to protect the ship. So the battle begins now, okay? In the top right you see the health of the ship that I have to protect. I already killed 1 enemy in a few seconds. The protected ship, boom, destroyed. 14 seconds after battle begin, it was already destroyed by the enemy. How in the world am I supposed to complete that mission? Even with 3 friendly players coming in at the same time, we would never be able to kill this many enemies this quickly to prevent that target ship or that ship from getting destroyed. Now I failed the contract and I'm basically just wasting my time doing combat here. But in any case, that's exactly what we came here to see. And CIG, in case you're seeing this, please rework the orange level contracts. Make the ship that needs to be protected a little more tanky. Choose a different kind of ship or something like this. Those ships right here that we're firing at right now are quite tanky, and yet those ballistic gatlings get them destroyed pretty quickly, but not before we have to take down the shields. As usual, all enemies only die after their shields have been depleted, right? Which again makes the entire argument for ballistic weapons pointless. There is no pro for me here counting in, only downsides and negatives that I have to deal with. For example, and most importantly, the 50% armor damage resistance against projectile weapons. Roughly around 50% on all ships. So the 3700 DPS are more like, 1800, 900, something like this, okay? So this is more like the actual DPS that we're inflicting here. But still, it is a ballistic build that works pretty well. If you want to optimize this while we're racking havoc on the enemy ships here, if you want to optimize the setup even further, I mean, for completionist terms, I've gone with a complete ballistic build here. Again, size 3 shredder ballistic repeaters, size 4 revenants on the wings, and the ball turret on the top. But to optimize it further, you could go and, because we have a lot of energy points available in the ship now, especially when you remove 1 cooler like I always do, then you could use them for something positive, right? For example, you could use size 3 auto repeaters on the nose guns. Now suddenly you have additional DPS that drops shields even faster, and that has full energy disposal available, right? Maximum ammo capacity ready. So this is something how you could optimize. You could even go with size 4 attritions too. Then you have a full attrition build with 1000 meters per second, while your bespoke cannons on top on the roof have 1050 meters per second. So the pips would be much closer together. They would almost be 1 pip. Okay, but now you have 4 energy weapons and only 2 ballistics. But you can experiment with this as much as you want between attrition and ballistic gatlings. There is a good amount of experimentation you can do. So this is the kit in question, the F7 Hornet Mark II Heartseeker upgrade kit. It is with the Valentine skin, and it was available. I'm not sure if you can get it right now. I know it's on Inpound and Star Hangar available somewhere where you can get it too. But yeah, you see here the stats: 3,730 DPS with those shredders. But again, the Tiger Strikes, by the way, they have the same stats, but 54,000 altogether damage output, while the Shredders get to 95. So you have a lot more maximum damage capacity in your Shredders than compared to the Tiger Strike. That's why we're going with the Shredders. And then we have 1,200 meters per second on the Revenants here, which is a little bit faster than the rest of the weapons, and 1,050 on the TMSB5 Gatlings that are bespoke on the roof. But it has a lot of maximum damage potential, that bespoke turret, with I think, yeah, 92,000 possible maximum damage. Remember the 55% damage resistance that all targets have, or 50 to 55. Some of them have 45, but it's somewhere around that area. That's gonna negate your damage input. Also, I switched the rockets to Dominators. We have the maximum shielding here with the meta shields and cooler. Colossus drive for maximum speed and range. Some people say they want to have a short cooldown. Okay, but I think having on a light fighter that often struggles with range, I feel like going with a drive that has high efficiency on the fuel usage, as well as even high speed, which typically only comes to play on very long jumps, is still a better thing to do, in my opinion. Anyways, we're landing here, we're filling up the weapons, because you saw I only have a few shots left on the on some of those weapons, right? Everything else was empty, but the restock costs are like non-existent. They're basically for free. Filling up projectile rounds basically costs nothing, so an upkeep is not really relevant here. However, what is relevant is that I was only able to do one single orange level contract, and my weapon firepower was empty, right? So just keep that in mind, my friends. I lost almost all my ammo just in one orange level contract, and you see my aim was spot on. I was basically wasting no projectiles there. And yet I was empty at the end of one orange level contract. Yeah, that is pretty crazy when you think about it, that we have yeah, only firepower enough in these ballistic weapons for a single mission. How dumb ballistic weapons really are right now in the game. I keep saying it, I'm repeating it over and over. Ballistic weapons, they just are in a terrible place in the game right now and simply should not be used, period. For the meme and for the interesting aspect of putting 4 size 4s on the Hornet, I decided to make a video about it, but just don't use ballistic weapons right now in the game unless you're fighting large capital ships like I've shown you recently with the Wolf video, and you're stripping larger ships of turrets and sub-targets. That's where ballistics are really useful and can be used very well right now. But in case you're really just trying to fight other fighters, don't go for it. Why would I deal with 1,200 and 1,000 meters projectile speed that has an ammo problem, an overheating problem, that has a spread problem, and then the biggest one of them all with the armor resistance of 50% that all enemy targets have? If I could just use 1,800 meters per second Panther, Patcher, and Rhinos and just laser the enemy down in a in like a fraction of the time with unlimited ammo, right? I mean, and hitting with basically all my shots because the weapons are so fast. It is just no reason to go with ballistics, like I said, other than firing at sub-targets on large capital ships. Unless CIG really reworks the ballistics, like honestly, they could just scrap the entire armor resistance against ballistics out of the game, and the ballistics would still be inferior to the energy weapons right now. At least in dogfights they would be. But yeah, let me know what you think, friends. I'm happy to hear your opinion. That is my experience and my opinion here from a lot of testing in the game. And also from reading your comments, by the way, too, which I see all the time. We're firing at a Terrapin right now, which you know is an extremely tanky target. The first one went down really quickly because I kept hitting this same exact vital spot over and over. The second one needed a little bit more convincing to go down. But yeah, so the yellow level contracts, you can complete them pretty well, no problem. They go down, the ship survives. The orange level contract simply cannot be done alone. Unless maybe when you're jumping in with a Polaris and you're opening your hangar and you just basically collect the ship that you have to protect instantly in your hangar, so it's protected by your force field and shield. Maybe this way you can do it. I don't see any other way how you can complete that orange level contract when the enemy ship, that protect ship is done in 14 seconds. But yeah, so here at the end, I'm gonna get myself killed. I just went in and I thought, can I just face brawl the enemy ship out of existence? Just going in, tanking the damage with my size 1 shields, probably not a good idea, and just freaking alpha or burst fire damage the what is it here, the MSR, the Mercury Star Runner out of the game. You see it's already red and it's already low on health, but I already lost my shielding at the same time as well. And yeah, I'm giving it everything I've got. The shields on the back are done. I'm focusing my fire right where the shields are gone, but unfortunately I die slightly faster than the MSR would die. So just bursting down the MSR did not work. And a little funny outro to the video here. Alrighty, thanks my friends for watching. Let me know what you think about Ballistics and the fact that there's a very rare F7 build out there that has 4 size 4s. I'm guessing that 90% of all players did not even know that was possible, which was for me the reason to create this funny little video. I hope you had a good time, and yeah, while I'm spiraling down to certain doom, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video, my friends, and Manni signing off. Bye-bye.